It's been brought to my attention through a couple of Discords and on Reddit that building with prefabs appears to be a very hard thing for people to do, and I thought I'd test out why. Huzzah everyone, and welcome to another 76 video, which I filmed while Invaders was still going on. Plus, I hope you like my new little intro. Also, stick around to the end of the video because I found the perfect thing for prefabs. Yes, that is me trying to keep you hooked for the entire thing. Anyway, prefabs. It's been mentioned a few times in a couple of the Discords that I'm in, and I think once or twice I've seen posts about it on Reddit recently, that prefabs are one of the worst things in the game to try and use to build with. Which, coming from a builder, I was like, really? Could it possibly be that bad? So, at random, I decided to pick a prefab out of the selection of prefabs and attempt to build something in an hour. All this footage in the background is the entire build process. It took about 51 minutes to do, and I think I've condensed it down to about 7 minutes, so hey, who knows? But there are a few questions that I wanted answered when it came to prefabs, and those were: how hard is it actually to build with a prefab, both on the interior and the exterior? Problems that came about when building on a prefab and in a prefab, the good points and the bad points of using it, and then I like I said, I've found out what they're actually perfect for. So, building wise, how bad is it to build with? I'd say on a scale of 10, it's probably about a 6 or a 7. It's not perfect, okay? It does have its limitations, and it does suck some of the creativity out of the building side because it's you've got a pre-allocated space. If you were just using a prefab and not building anything on the exterior like I have done right here, and you were just using the interior, it can suck a little bit of the fun out of it because you've got a designated amount of area, and not every prefab has an upstairs and a downstairs. So, yeah, you've really got to think. I would say it's a good building process for the people who want to challenge themselves and give themselves like a designated area. And it does have a few other issues with its hitboxes. Especially on this one, I found that the roof, just the little chimney part, the little sticky out part, doesn't seem to exist. You as a player can register and bump into it, but stuff can just slide on in there like there's nothing. Like, I managed to slide a satellite in there without even meaning to slide a satellite in there. I was like, I'm going to stick a satellite because I was building this during Invaders, when Invaders was still going on. And I was like, I want to do a little bit of a fun little alien theme, so I'm going to put a satellite dish on the roof. And I was like, right, okay, satellite dish, and it just slides right in. So hitboxes do appear to be a bit of an issue. I did find also that things would disappear through walls or disappear upstairs. So if you like living in a Hogwarts-themed environment, yeah, sure, because stuff will just accio away from you. Well, accios too, yeah, I don't know what. Harry Potter sucks. But those are the problems that I found with it. The big problem, I forgot to mention, before it leaves my brain, the biggest problem with a prefab is the frame rate. If you are... So, I will preface this by saying this. If you are going to build with a prefab as an actual proper camp build, make sure you place it where you want it and you never want to move it again, okay? Because if you do what I did and get about 30 odd minutes into this entire build process and then misclick or feel like you want to move it somewhere else, your frame rate will drop to like 2 frames a second. And even when the stuff, I decided to test it without stuff inside, even if you just put it down and like, I want to move it over here, I want to move it over there, your frame rate drops to non-existent. So that is the big problem with this kind of stuff. However, it's not too bad if you fuck up. If you don't fuck up and make sure that you don't click on the thing to try and move it, you'll be fine. However, good points and bad points. Good points: it can be used for a speedy camp, which is a hint towards what they're actually perfect for. It's a good point towards a speedy camp. It offers a bit more detail than you can get, like in its physical appearance. It offers a bit more detail to any other. Like the only time you would get a nice detailed wall are the new walls on the scoreboard. So it offers that. Plus, it looks better than what most things can be built, so that's kind of good. Bad points, apart from the frame rate and the stuff going into it, it's kind of restrictive, like I mentioned. So yeah, it's overall, it's not really that bad. However, like I said, I did manage to find out what prefabs are perfect for. And it fits into a group of people I don't really like when it comes to Fallout, and that is the people that will build like a 15 by 15 or a 30 by 30 square and put 4 crafting tables in it and have it floating off the ground. You know, those people who build those eyesores? Yeah? Stop doing that. Use prefabs, okay? Because if you think, there is literally, right, a shed in this game that can fit all the crafting tables in it. And every time you see someone build one of those giant floating abominations of a square, what have they got inside? That's right, all the crafting tables. And they're not like all the crafting tables in the center, it's all the way around the circumference, and it's like, it bugs the crap out of you. Okay? So, prefabs are the perfect thing for the people who want to only have a base or only have a location that they can come back to and have access to crafting and storage, right? If you don't want to pretty it up, if you don't want to put tables down and ignore the fact that I broke the game and turned that countertop into a green screen, ignore that. But if you are one of those people who just wants to set down a base and have the crafting stuff, and a place to, basically if you want a survival tent without having a survival tent, prefabs are your thing. Like I said, the shed. I've built an actual proper camp inside the shed before. So the shed can be used for having all your major crafting, plus you can just put a few little things on the outside as well. You just have a bit of fun with it. Things like the BOS bunker or the giant tower, perfect for you guys. Especially for the fact that you can stick turrets on the towers as well, and they snap on into place and work perfectly. So I from now on want to see a decline of people building giant, obnoxious, over-the-top abominations that are squares, and moving on to prefabs. And if you don't have all the prefabs, pick one prefab and just there. So, in general, prefabs, not as hard to build with as the community seems to say, but I will admit, they can be a little bit of a hassle. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Prefabs. Done. Dusted. I hope you enjoyed the video and the little intro. But apart from that, you guys know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, stay awesome.